Welcome
Go
to Royal
introduce
Creator
yourselves.
Podcast, Episode 2.
That is the number.
I'm Anda. You might know me as Koakuma on Twitch and Twitter.
And I'm SkyJLV. I am SkyJLV on Twitch, but I don't really use Twitter. No, I use Twitter, but it's fine.
Okay, time to crack open a cold one with the boys. Sky, pretend you're holding a drink right now. I don't know if you could hear that.
Yes,
I got
we could.
water. I got water.
That was a good Kraken.
Yeah! Oh.
All right.
It sounded like you just spilled it on yourself immediately.
Maybe I did. You wouldn't know.
Oh my god, I'll never tell.
Okay.
I don't have one to crack open. I'm just drinking a funny screwdriver in a glass.
Yeah. JJ is also here, but she's with her better friends, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking cringe, actually. But yeah, anyway.
Her cringe French Canadian friends.
You're not gonna dog someone else. This is not the second time we're gonna dog someone. We already dogged someone already. Okay. Let's just get on to the topics or whatever until JJ shows up, and then we can bother JJ.
Yeah, let's just start without JJ.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, you know what? No, okay, let's not do that. Okay,
don't you have a fill or anything?
Yeah, let's talk about GC. How was everyone's GC?
Ooh.
I
see. Okay, did everyone here get their 3 wins?
Yes. I got my Power 3 wins. And I think J streamed their 3rd win where we screamed, and that was it.
Was it the last day?
We had like a good day or two, and then yesterday we were riding on a win for that Arcana for my poor little sub GM who is a half nightmare source. And not gonna name any names, but one of our friends had a big old ouchie boo boo fuck up 3 times in a row, and we lost the match very, very sadly.
No,
yeah.
This is like our kind of best GC so far, just because we actually won 3 games.
Yeah, numbers wise, it was okay. Yeah, numbers wise, it was okay for us, but the wins and losses was just awful. We had like, it was kind of a train wreck for half of the week.
Yeah, that was me last GC. What about you, Sky?
4 accounts. 3.
I know your main account.
Okay, my main one. I got 3 wins, so that was pretty poggers.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Hell yeah. We at least got to the 3 wins immediately on the 5th day. I guess I have technically 2 main accounts to a degree, because one is like paying, one's like free to play.
Funny one it was.
But they're both, over 200k. So hey, you know what?
Yeah, one is just where you mainly pay.
And one is completely free to play. That one dislikes just completely. But
that one you're throwing us the bone with, because we have our Royal Creator Guilds going now. And our Royal Creator Guild actually had a pretty decent GC. We started literally the week before Gran, and we were immediately placed into League 2. So there's that.
I think League 2 right now is the lowest one. I don't think League 3 exists at all.
Oh my god, it must be.
Yeah. League 3 is probably like the solo, like people who just did the make a guild for the rookie path or whatever it was.
Maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure JayTen might remember better than me, but I think we had a couple wins before that, so I'm pretty sure it was just like, here you go.
What's happening?
Oh, there's JJ.
Hi,
We're talking about Not Royal.
Oh, yeah.
JJ, introduce yourself.
Yeah, we got. Is that it?
Hi, my name is JJYMayo. I'm a VTuber. I generally stream a variety of games. Changing from SINoALICE, Genshin Impact, and some other things, and also art. Hi.
Yeah.
JJ legitimately got like an actual introduction. Meanwhile, I like opened up the podcast with like, "What's up, pussies?"
Oh my god.
I mean, that's pretty much how I open up my streams, so it's fine.
We're talking about
But yeah,
GC.
I think for me personally, the greatest GC actually ironically turned out to be not Royals GC, because we actually got our 3 wins.
Oh my god.
And
Switching mains now then.
and considering we are currently only 7 players and just started like the week before Grand, so we're all still under 100k, I'd say that's pretty fucking good for a first GC.
Well, we all started with a single goal in mind already. So let's say, for example, you started, you want to be a Vanguard. I started, I want to be a Vanguard. Jay started, Jay wants to be a Vanguard. And then after, like, our wrestler, Sin wanted to be a cleric. So we all already had a goal in mind. So basically, we only threw our crystals at the Grimoire that would benefit our class or our role.
Yeah, I think especially with second accounts, we usually are more kind of knowledgeable, experienced. And some of us just first started Sino on global, so we made a lot of bad decisions, I would say. Easy here. I know played JP beforehand, so
I'm not even joking, but like I think within the first like week of global, I was already 90k, 100k by the point, because I already knew how to save up and shit, and everyone in my guild was just like, "How the fuck is he?" And one of my friends like,
wow,
the only way,
oh,
that I've only played JP for like 4 years. Yeah,
hashtag humble brag.
Well, what was I gonna say? Fucking man, I fucking forgot. You know, my 2 brain cells are
calling you out, but it's fine.
You know what? It's okay. I think he's done this like every podcast so far. It's fine. Okay, let's go on to the actual first topic. Okay, clap for transition. I don't know if that picked up. That was me slapping my thigh.
There,
okay,
yeah, it did.
Wait.
First topic was SINoALICE first anniversary. Sorry, JJ.
Okay.
Let's talk about the
accepted it.
Let's talk about first anniversary of global, guys. How was that?
I ran out of crystals.
That was pretty cool. Me too.
I feel like it was really brutal. Yep,
yeah, I was kind of and I still am kind of underwhelmed by the anniversary banners. But the calamity pulls have been very good for me, and because we got so much shit from anniversary, it was easier to do those. I was glad we got the daily 11 pulls, because I was scared that we weren't going to get them.
Yeah, because I told you.
Yeah, because but in like just comparatively I can talk comparatively with JP, who had it all month, I felt like anniversary for global was literally like 2 weeks, and it was like, okay.
I felt that the first half felt more like a anniversary as opposed to the second half. The first half, which lasted 2 weeks, which was, as we mentioned before, the free 10 pulls of Calamity. Calamity only gave me 1 book. Thank you. Thank you. I got 320 medals now. I got 1 Calamity book. Thanks.
I only summoned for Gretel, and that was literally it. And then I had and I got Gretel pretty early on, so I was like, you know what, might as well go to Calamity for a bit. And I got a staff, and that was literally it. And then I was like, you know, that's gacha game, whatever. And then I looked at Gretel for like 10 minutes, actually, just on my phone, like, look at Gretel. Gretel's pretty hot, and then I fell asleep.
Oh my god, yeah. That's a mood. That's a mood. Gretel's pretty hot and passes out. Calamity was pretty decent to me, at least. Like, I got I'm trying not to confuse my main with my not royal account, because I think on not royal I got the sword a couple times, so that was good. And in my main, I got the hammer and the spear, so which is good, so I can just stick them in both my sets.
I think everyone. Sorry, I think everyone did really well on Calamity. Sorry about that.
Except for JJ.
I had
one book.
Yo, I had a dream last night that I went in and I pulled one book and like one Calamity Spear, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And then I woke up and I'm like, that was not real.
Oh, that's a
Aw.
nightmare.
Not
That's
real.
sad.
Nothing is real.
But yeah, so for my side, my anniversary, so my perspective on the anniversary was similar to JJ. The first half was kind of, that's where it felt like anniversary because everyone, it felt really inclusive. Like to me, whenever a gacha game is making kind of a anniversary, I feel like you kind of want to include everyone, and you know, pulls is like, hell yeah, dude. Who says no to free pulls? And you know, a lot of the gacha games have been doing that too. So, you know, I like that we got it as well. But on the second half, definitely was kind of like a downside to me. Like, it didn't really feel inclusive, mainly because the main thing I see on the second half was just the banners where I just don't have enough crystals.
Yeah.
I like, you know, a lot of them are really good, and you know, guaranteed is always good. I always like tell the people, it's like, you know, if there's something that's good, you get that's good.
Oh yeah,
good
always
for
say
you,
for the
right?
guaranteed
Yeah, the
SS, especially if you're
guaranteed, but
starting the game.
you know, they allowed you to pull on it 5 times, and then there's so many of them, and it was 500 crystals. I mean, like, you know, where's my crystals?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think I think in the Royal Creator chat on the official Discord, we had a big conversation about this a couple of weeks ago, right? Where we were talking about like how many banners we have at once, which at face value, like, yeah, that's really cool. You have a lot of choices, but also we don't have the means to pull on, first of all, any of them usually.
Yeah.
And
I also,
much less all of them.
Also the fact that I think because I'm comparing to JP with Global, which I shouldn't be doing because they're both their own thing. JP just had back-to-back events, so he always had like that crystal splurge. So like when we had our Annie for like 2 months, I think we're having our last Annie event soon, which should be the giant raid. It was like we're legitimately just having back-to-back events at this point. Like I haven't ran out. Like I was at like 1K when Annie started, and I was crying. Like I think everyone saw me like fucking break it down because I couldn't afford the new Alice. And then I'm like, I'm back at like 6K now, and I'm like, oh, I can
Coochie too expensive.
Yeah, Coochie. I had a neighbor. Speaking of neighbors, I had a neighbor that Alice came out literally the next day after that stream, and I cried.
Oh my god!
I woke up in a cold
Alice
sweat.
is your sleep paralysis demon.
I woke up in a cold sweat. It's like Alex, yeah, wake up in a cold sweat thinking about him. J Dash is actually gonna fucking block me now because I mentioned Alex Yig.
No.
But that's how my anniversary went. It went me going like, I'm good at saving gems, so I know when to spend it. And I was like, yeah, Gretel, I knew this was coming. And then I knew Swimsuit Gretel was coming. I did not think Hamlin was fucking coming though. I hate that.
Hamlin, fuck up. I just want Rapunzel.
Hamlin fucks though.
They've been throwing these curveballs.
JayTen, if you're leaving Izzy's guild, you can come to mine. Just saying. Just saying. We need rear guard,
right? Because we have a lot of us global players, and in global gacha games in general, like we tend to have the clairvoyance of like knowing what's coming out. But Pokélab has been throwing some curveballs here and there to just kind of I feel like to make you feel like to.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why that's why I'm like I try to compare JP with Global like differently because JP is its own thing and Global is its own thing. Like even the way we're starting with World Grand Coliseum, JP is doing it like I wouldn't say differently, but they're telling scores like different because they're also including Sin Coliseum scores, but not this month. They're doing last month's total scores, and then like obviously the Grand Col scores. While global is just like just getting the top whoever and then putting them into World GC.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
We need to get SS rank sooner rather than later, I feel. Cause I'm noticing that because we're currently in B, we got demoted twice. It's been just a mad dash back to the top that's getting even more difficult every time we have to do it. So it seems like even trickling down to B now is starting to be packed with whales and like just people who kind of probably belong in S but were also demoted. So
Yes,
it's getting.
I'm starting to notice that.
Yeah,
too.
it's getting too. Yeah, it's getting too crowded. Even in like the slower time slots or whatever.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Even though people keep saying like, "Oh, SINoALICE is at like is like at the ends of or whatever it's called," like they're gonna shut down servers. It's literally like it doesn't feel like it when I fucking play. When I fucking go into Coliseum and I see like a million whales, and I'm like in B rank, and I'm like, that's fun, haha. And then I cry, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then I start the cycle all over again.
I wake up, still no new Alice. I go to sleep.
That's me. I have a countdown timer on my like. I haven't updated it recently, but on my card on Twitter, where it's like 0 days since Alice showed me her coochie, and I haven't updated that because it's only like when I don't get a new Alice. So I had updated that like all the time when literally the Sin Gunner Alice we got for first Annie. I never got her, and I got so sad. She's like the last Alice I needed. And I kept slapping my stupid legs until it bruised until I got her.
No.
But I thought that was gonna happen with Gretel for sure, for real. Like I saved like I think almost 7K for Gretel, and it was like I'm gonna get Gretel.
I don't think I've ever saved that much on global.
Every 300 crystals that come in, if there's something that I want, I just go straight out. If it's okay to go back to the whole like GC having a lot of
go ahead.
Yeah,
I feel like for some time slots when I'm recruiting, I guess this goes in the whole topic of guilds. When you're in a guild, it's like if you've been with that guild for a very long time, you don't want to break off from that guild. The only reason why you would break off from that guild is because you guys go boom because whoever was in core ended up quitting the game or left the guild due to other reasons. But like a lot of the guilds that I've found have been staggering at like 13, 14, sometimes even 10 members. And like I mentioned this on my own stream at one point, but it feels like the only way at some point that it's like to have like less guilds but more full guilds is that at some point in time some guilds will have to break up at some point just for those members to go and fill up empty slots in other guilds. But because like as it was mentioned in like the polls during Sinnoh times, a lot of people play the game because they have this connection with the people they're in the guild with. So it's hard to like say, okay, I think it's best if we all go our separate ways kind of thing because nobody wants to. They're all comfortable where they are. So it's like, what do you do?
I think that's definitely with like a lot of like guilds that's been there for like since day one, like my guild. Like it's not like, oh, we're gonna split up because someone quit the game. It's more like, oh, if fucking time slot issues keep happening, then we have to keep moving time slots, but we still want to be together. But if we're not together, then we're splitting, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it sucks.
That's what happens. Like if you're around for a long time, like my guild has been around since launch. Also, like it's at this point that we're like friends, so we would all kind of feel like guilty if any of us leave. So like if anybody has to dip out for any reason, we usually all talk about it, and they're like, "I'm so sorry, like I don't want to leave," and like everyone's like, "Oh no, we'll miss you."
What about you, Sky?
It's similar to me. Like my guild has been they've been around since launch, I think. And I kind of joined a little bit probably 3 months in because I was in a separate guild before. But I joined kind of 3 months in because like well, we kept beating them, okay? But my guild was like kind of because I was the GM initially on my guild, but then I was getting the vibes already. It's like, okay, is everyone just kind of playing right now for the sake just because everyone is here, but they don't because keep in mind this was at the beginning of the game where they didn't really know what to expect out of SINoALICE, right? So some some people really got their expectations let down, but and so I was starting to notice like people were attending Colo, right? But then they wanted to leave, or not they wanted to leave, but they're kind of
they only
weren't
wanted to call for the obligation.
yeah, for the obligation. And so I did a survey. Funny
Oh
enough,
yeah. Tell me about this.
I did a survey, and like 13 out of 15 people said, "Yeah, I'm just playing because everyone else is still playing." And at that point I was just like, "All right, I think everyone is probably ready to leave, and so what disband." So it's like I made that decision. It's like, okay, we just have to yeah, we're disbanding because I mean they're still part of my community because it's just a guild. We play other games too, so it wasn't really like cut off from each other, and some of them stuck around, and so. But then I joined my current guild now because I was like I DM'd the GM. It's like, hey, you got a spot? or I made the GM think that way because it's like, oh yeah, my guild's disbanding, and then the GM's like, hey, you want to join? I'm like, okay. But
yeah, that's kind of the same thing happened with one of my sub GMs who is now a very good friend and kind of our guild tactician. Is that he kind of like messaged a couple months ago and well, it's more than a couple months now, probably like half a year or 7 months that he's been with us. And he messaged me like out of the blue and was like, hey, like after Grand, like can I join? Like your guild seems cool. It was on the recommended blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, and like now he's very invaluable in our guild. Like there are days where he can't make it and like the guild will just fall apart. Like he's a lot more competent than I am as a GM. I'm just like I know what nightmares work with our sets and I will put them out there and that will be fine.
We got a new DPS maybe a couple months ago before Jacob joined. Jacob the VTuber, you know him? You know that guy? He may go by JayTen, wink.
I was gonna say like Jacob is the most normal name. You could say, oh, Jacob, and I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
We have a bit in my Discord where when J-Dash, I keep calling him J-Dash but he changed his name to JayTen, and then we're like, oh, but what do we call you now? Like as a joke because we could just call him Jay, and he's like, yeah, just call me Jay. So we're like, okay, I'm fucking choking on my fucking drink. And then it was like, okay, so any J name? So we just went for 5 minutes. Oh, Jess. Oh, Jen. Joe? Joel. John.
Oh my God.
So anyways,
George.
We had this DPS who messaged me in the game. The thing is, I don't know how the fuck he, like, found me because, like, I didn't put on the boards or anything that we're looking for a new DPS. Like, it just so happened, like, we needed, like, one of my DPS was, like, retiring or, like, their account wasn't working. So we're like, okay, well, bye, okay? Like, not like, bye, waves bye, goodbye to you, but more like, oh, that sucks. But, like, he messaged me on, like, 2 days, like, after we need to find a DPS, we didn't do, like, any advertising. And he was like, oh, hey, I can be a DPS or a backliner if you want. I'm like, okay, cool, you're a DPS then, okay. So I added him, and then now he's the guy who went on J-Dash's stream and kept summoning Mao in the beginning, and then he kept saying, easy content, guys, collapsing stream. Yeah, he actually fucks us over, but I think it's really funny, so it's fine.
JayTen says choke harder.
I will.
I will, out of spite.
I will, exactly. Okay, let's go to our next questions instead of fucking making.
Wait. Before we go to the next one,
go ahead.
We should look into the other
people's
answers.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, we polled the rest of the RCP that are in our server to answer the questions for our topics.
They answered a lot more in depth than we did.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, yeah, they did.
Yeah, one of JJ's responses was just the table flip emoji, and like everyone else has like a essay their experiences.
I was busy at the time.
Okay, I'll read Spoot. So this is his first anniversary. How was it? He got hosed on Calamity, but the reward and mission structure he said should be here all year round.
Yeah.
Which I kind of agree. I wish there was more ways to get daily
we
crystals, because I think
need
currently currently I think it's 10 just from doing like the daily missions in the tab. And if you do like literally like if we do have an event running at the time, it's another like 10, so that's another 20. But then with anniversary, I think we got like 30 each day, so that was like around 50 free crystals daily.
We need more like global missions too. Like there are so many people who just have entirely tapped out the global missions.
I think it's also because they're easy to just get, which I think is like the best part of SINoALICE is like the dailies don't even take more than like 2 minutes to just get your fucking like daily crystals.
Oh no, not even the dailies. I just mean like the long term ones. Yeah.
Oh, even the monthly missions too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like the ones that are like limit break 50,000 pieces of weapon or pieces of armor.
Yeah, I ran out of those classes.
You did? Well, they definitely do add more in JP because I still fucking have them and I hate them. I stare at them all day and it's like make your armor L like a million times and I'm like fucking staring at them.
And I like that because like it always gives you goals to like work towards, and like the fact that there are so many people now that have just done all of those in global. Like we need more. Then we need more incentive to keep limit breaking or keep evolving, because it just gives us more of an incentive to like keep pulling. Like from a business standpoint, like it would be good for them to add more.
But also please backlog everything too, because let's say for example the quest ends at 30 and we're already at 40. Can I please get 35 and
they would have to. They would have to, because I'm pretty sure the game like keeps track of that.
The game also keeps track of if you accidentally use like your SS weapons for fodder, because in JP they have the like little weapon tokens if you have something more limit broken more than like 6 times. Like if you get a weapon copy like the 6th time and you already have a max limit broken, it gives you like a little token. But like my dumbass, I literally like I think I accidentally like used one of those as weapon fodder because I can't read, and I'm like, oh, I still got that token even after the thing, and then I pissed my pants and I cried.
I can't wait till we get recycle gacha. Like going back to we have so many banners at once. I can't wait till we get recycle gacha, which is 600 crystals.
And then you have like you have like 15 banners inside that recycle gacha too. You literally can't pick any of them. You can't pick any of them.
you can pick from like a set of Vanguard weapons or a set of rearguard weapons or like
a set of hammers only, or a set of multi-hit. It sucks.
Like we need that, but if we were to get that now, we would need more chances to get crystals.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. This is what Diane said for her anniversary thing. She was pretty good. Got the classes I wanted. Had to spark one of the international classes. But Murmy's new class randomly showed up for me, so that's cool. Also, Go Thailand is the best.
Yeah, I wish he was a gift. I wish he wasn't paid because he's so cute.
I know. I was so tempted, but I don't buy nightmares. They're too expensive, and I cried.
Yeah. And he's just Mao, so
he's better Mao though.
I wish like
better on stats, right?
Yeah, I wish his bundle though was one that didn't last just for anniversary and it extended to the rest of the month for some reason.
I definitely think they're gonna like put them back because they always do just reruns for the Annie nightmares, because they did that just recently again with Japan's like Poopy's anniversary version.
Poopy.
Yeah. Poopy's a hot anime girl now.
What?
No. Don't worry about it.
No.
This was Jennifer's Jennifer VTubers #1 or the anniversary thing comment. Depends on which account. Oh fuck you! This guy man fucking runs 4 accounts. I'm not reading all this. His rear guard pulled the Calamity instrument. His half nightmare got bought Lammy and also got a handful of combo weapons. Had to suffer for a Crow Doro and 5th Doro ransom paid off. That was
You got a lot of combo weapons.
He did. Yeah, fucking Jeff. And then Nekopons is she spent crystals and real money for the first anniversary.
Oh my god.
Literally have nothing to show for it.
No.
That's the worst part. You spend actual money, you get nothing.
There has to be a better way for the pity system.
That's the saddest thing, and that's why I don't buy crystals for pulling. I buy crystals when it's like, of course I pay for the crystal pass because as royal creator, hashtag sponsored, we do get royal as royal creators, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. So it's affordable for me to get the Twilight Crystal Pass at that point. So I only really buy the Twilight Crystal Pass, and then if there's something really, really, really useful in the crystal packs when they're on sale, like when you get bonus crystals for buying ones, I'll usually get like the $1 one or fucking whatever. And then if there's one that's like a shit ton of Evo items or whatever, like the scales and the eyes and everything, I'll sometimes spring for those because I am always out of those.
I will say that I never buy anything, even in JP. The only time I buy things is literally like paid jobs, and I think I bought like 4 paid jobs in JP, which was Mage, Gretel, Crusher Gretel, Oni Alice, and Mion from Higurashi, which was pretty cool, and I feel happy that I bought them because they look cool and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I love Oni Alice.
And in Global, I just bought a Sorcerer Gretel. That's because I thought I was gonna be Sorcerer, but now I'm fucking DPS. Then I went into Cleric, and then now I'm going back to DPS. Then I went back to Cleric.
Well, at least you have the flexibility, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at least I have technically all Gretels in, like around Global and JP. Because I never had that paid Sorcerer Gretel. I didn't know, it was like one of my favorite jobs. Okay, and then this is Dylan's first anniversary thing. For the most part, it was fun. I put all my crystals into those fancy spirit classes and calamity classes. Then with all the shame and regret, I spent money to bolster my crystal amount to pull more in calamity. And then on international classes, am I proud of it? No. Was it worth it? No. Am I happy? Yes.
It's true. Pulling gives dopamine, and that's what I do on JP. Really, is because like on JP I'm casual, so I just pull when I want something.
Yeah.
That's
me.
I log in, I pull, dopamine go up.
Yeah,
or watch other people's pulls.
No, if I watch other people's pulls, I get jealous and I fucking report them for hate crime.
Yeah, you go feral.
Okay, good thing I didn't stream my pull or anything.
Izzy will demonetize you and dox you if you get good pulls.
Good thing all my pulls have been terrible so far.
It wasn't that it's good pulls. It was a lot of pulls. Oh dear.
Okay, let's go to the second question, guys. Woo!
Yep. Yay.
Okay, so this is the more I wouldn't say controversial, but this is the one that gets the most conversation of people. So free to play versus pay to win, who's more important and why? Let's go with Sky, since he has the fucking free account and the money account.
That is a
I mean, we all do now because of Not Royal.
The fuck? I don't. Man, you guys are.
Well, I guess you should join. I guess you should join Not Royal then.
I spend even less money. Spend even more less money. Like I don't even spend money on my account. I only spent it on that fucking Gretel, and that's because someone gave me a commission to like, hey, buy the Gretel. Yeah, I will.
No.
Yeah, my chat has enabled me before. They've literally sent me money and been like, here's your gotcha money, and I'm like, what?
No. Yeah, literally, like my couple of paid jobs in SINoALICE and JP was because I was like, hey, my commissions are open, and there's this cool job in SINoALICE, wink, and then someone would be like, here's $50, go nuts, boy.
Whoa,
bro, what will I do now? Sky, go give your thingy.
Well, this is a trick question because I am both important, so
I'm deeming myself
important. Actually,
myself
the most
important. But no, like free to play versus pay to win, who's more important? To me, they are as equally important to each other, because without free to play, the pay to win are gonna, they're not really gonna win, because they're just gonna be paying to fight other pay to wins. And
yeah, no,
well, aren't they already?
That's my whole gripe with the whole pay to win system in not SINoALICE but in general, especially now that with the Pokemon Unite thing, where it's actually evident you can see the pay to wins versus free to plays, where it's just like you're at that point, you're just bullying like people, like you're just bullying the people who don't want to spend money on a game. Like, have you seen fucking Pokemon Unite's huge like what do you call it? The gap of like pay to win versus free to play. It's insane. Like it's more insane than SINoALICE, because it's like at least in SINoALICE it separates like within divisions. Like even if we complain like, oh, there's whales in B, like in the B rank, it's not as bad as like going to S rank as like a little baby, and you see all these like 300K people like fucking beating the shit out of you with like their max limit broken dry ass or whatever. Like that sucks. But at least they're in their own different division. But if you beat someone who's pay to win in your own division, it feels fucking great. Like we beat like a guild that had like a max layer broken like Racone, and they used that to like the worst timing. And I was like, yeah, eat my shit.
Eat my entire ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess I technically gave my answer for the pay to win free to play, is that I feel like at some point it will be bullying, but I mean they're both important, because one of them is literally paying the game to be
one is
still
the
online.
sandbag, one is the content for the pay to win.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Free to plays are.
That is what I tell myself whenever I go free to play on the game. Like I tell my stream, it's like, listen, I am indirectly paying because I am helping the pay to wins feel satisfied, so they stay in the game.
Oh, look at those little things, little baby, make people feel better. Oh, little baby.
Yo, caring about people cringe. But I think without free to play, there's
less numbers.
Yeah, there will be practically no player base, and then that will make the whales less likely to play. And I've already I keep track of the feedback channels in the server.
I keep track of how I get depressed each day.
Yeah, I keep track of all the salt and the drama, but mostly I see a lot of people who are just very upfront and say, I'm a whale, and even I'm not impressed with how this is going, because if you don't give your F2 free to play players good treatment, then there's no reason for whales to play, because they that's I'm gonna go ahead and say that's more than half the player base has got to be F2P.
I think they showed the poll in the anniversary live stream, where I think it was 70% of the players they spent less than $10 or something, or $12 on the game per month.
Yeah, so imagine
I'm not saying those guys are free to play, but those guys are the ones who are in majority, and they're the ones who are not the whales that spend more than 100 per month.
Yeah, so imagine yeah, so imagine if it gets much worse, and then hypothetically all of the free to play players quit.
I think that's what happened.
And then you essentially have only whales or dolphins, and at that point you might as well just make it a subscription game like Final Fantasy 14.
The people who call themselves dolphins, but they're whales, because you see that they have a fucking maximum broken dry ass, but they say they don't spend money on crystals, but you still spend money on the stupid fucking nightmares that come out every
you have a deep seated hatred for Dryas. You keep that's always your example.
It's the only nightmare I remember the name of without having it a stupid nickname, because
I think there's a limit though.
That is a nickname though, Dry Ass.
Yeah, exactly. That is my nickname for it. But what I'm saying is I have nickname for all of them. Fucking Aries is green lesbian. Odio is green lesbian girlfriend.
Green lesbian.
Yeah, we have stupid nicknames and people just follow it. And I'm saying Mao right now because that's what his name is, but we call him Spidey in both my JP and Global Guild because I thought he was a spider until someone was like, he's a fucking turtle, and I'm like, no, he's not.
It was life changing. It was life changing when my guild discovered it was a turtle.
It's been 3 fucking years, and now you're telling me he's a turtle? Like you didn't have to. You didn't bring this up.
Yeah,
sooner?
he's just Torterra Pokemon.
But yeah, like I don't even have. We don't even have Orc. We think he's ugly, so we don't use him.
No ugly bitches allowed in my nightmare team.
We have one of my friends in my JP. We used to prop freeze golem. We used to prop freeze golem like a lot, but nowadays it's not really that important in JP. But we used to call him just ugly. Like you're like, hey, get ugly over here.
Yo, pop ugly.
Yo, pop ugly. And then when he summons, we're like, yeah, ugly, woo.
Yeah, woo.
JJ, what's your stance on the stupid whales we're saying?
On the stupid shit. Our own topics. What's your opinion on this stupid fucking shit?
So I've gone. So my main is a minor spender. I don't know if you. No, actually, never mind. It's a whale. Okay, so
I was gonna say, like, you literally talked about how last month you were like, should I spend money on food or fucking SINoALICE? I'm like, if you had to pick, if you had to pick between the two,
or SINoALICE. Do I want to spend on Genshin or SINoALICE? Anyway,
if you had to pick between the two, I think I would expect that you were a whale because you're trying to put SINoALICE over the other, obviously more important one.
Medicine for my dying child, or Twilight crystals in a funny little anime game.
I can tell you though that okay, so in my guild, I'm pretty sure there's some free to play. There's some free to play and there's pay to win. We have a couple of pay to win. I can tell you that we recently picked up a minstrel who just came back from the game. And so like we recruited them because we were looking for a minstrel, and I could tell that they were a whale because within like 2 weeks they got like 20k in increase in points, and they got like 4 calamity weapons. There's no way you can do that unless you're paying money. Maybe.
Well, I mean, maybe they were just lucky.
No,
benefit of
so that actually has happened to me where I come back and then I pull on the later banners and manage to boost my CP by 20k. It does actually happen, but I guess it depends. Like, are we talking about 130k to 150k? That's more doable. But if it's 200k to 220k, that's different.
It's like 100. It was 130 to 150.
That's not
actually,
bad.
That is actually doable now.
That's
nowadays.
not bad. It's fucking insane in JP. Sorry to cut you off, but like one of my friends, they were lower DPS than me. Like I think I was like 520k in JP, and they were 500k, like straight up. And anniversary happened. They shot up all the way to 580k. Like I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? How did you do that? I just shot up to like 540k or something in JP in like a month, and it's like they shot up to 80k plus at 500k. Like you can't do that. There's no
it's
illegal without spending money.
And then okay, so there's that, and then after there's the other thing where it's like, so when I started my free to play account, I was going in thinking, okay, what does it feel like as a free to play, like a new player going in as a free to play? I noticed, oh, okay, cool. I noticed that like if you're going to want to do any co-ops, if you want any friend medals, you're gonna have to unlock, like, let's say for example, gorilla for weapon, because otherwise you won't be able to actually find any co-ops to actually join. Not everybody does the really, really low early story, unless you can jump into conquest for whatever reason. For reasons for like getting the nightmares. You don't like in our guild right now for not royal. I know that there's some of us that are trying to farm for conquest nightmares, especially let's say for example, I'm doing actually the Cerberus conquest right now with my main, with my alt to see if I can get it. I just picked up the Cerberus SR, so we now have Bell 3. So we have Bell 3. Yeah, we have Bell Wildfire 3 now in our guild. that is an alternative if you don't want to pick up something like Rico. It does cost 200 SP to use. However, it does require a lot of time. For free-to-play players, if you want to be able to do well, you have to commit. You have to actually you have to commit the hours into it. But at the same time, like those might be the people that end up attending maybe if they're really hardcore players who try to be just free to play, they are more attentive to actually show up during colo. As opposed to like as opposed to
that's what
casuals
I
who
feel
look for-
too. Like a lot of my free to play friends in general, they just show up for colo more often just because I said this when SINoALICE Global got announced, that the game is a very like you work hard for your power and then you're powerful. Woo! That's why I kind of dislike the pay to win system, because it's like you're not putting in the hard work to like get your power. You're just kind of paying for it, and then you just kind of like, haha, I'm strong, and then meanwhile, like you're like, oh look, after 1 hour, I got all the things I needed for this weapon. Look at me, yay! Like that's it. Like I think having that like a sense of accomplishment is cool, and I think that's why more free to plays or casual people generally show up to call more often, just because they have that more sense of accomplishment if they do something with their actual grid. Like actually, I don't even know if we have like fucking whales in my game. Most of them just kind of go up in the game, like, hey, should I spend money on this thing? If you want to, okay. And then like they don't. It's like, okay, well, but you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like I feel like they join more because of that sense of accomplishment versus whales who just kind of pay that money to win in the end, or just they already have it, so it doesn't even matter to them that like they win or lose. They have the power, they look cool, they have the coochie cloud to be number like 500, top 500 or something in GC, and that's it.
I do feel like though, like I'm just thinking about back on my grid for my main. It's
Mhm.
like if you are a whale, the only way to continue improving your grid, so let's say for example we're going back to like 200, let's say for example 200, 300k,
Mhm, mhm.
the only way that I can think of to increase my grid at that point is pretty much just you have to just keep spending more to limit break your books, because you can't just like
Yeah.
swap out old ones because it's literally maybe the same CP. So you have to just keep limit breaking, which does cost you which does take up more Twilight crystals, which you potentially may have to pay for. As free to play, it's just like you get it, you get it. Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing with JP. That's why not a lot of people are playing JP. Or this is also the reason why I'm telling people not to jump into JP until we have free polls, is because it's hard to like continue on like growing if you don't have like everything max limit broken. Like I think I've showed you my entire grid, Koa, where it's literally like my back grid's all max limit broken. My entire armor is max limit broken.
Yeah.
My nightmares aren't max limit broken because I hate nightmares. But my back grid weapons are max limit broken. My front grid weapons are max limit broken. It's like how you get past this kind of thing. That's when they introduce LL, because like that's when people start hitting the roadblock of like everything kind of being close to the same CP.
Yeah,
it's like okay,
maxed
here's
out.
here's the LLs, and then everyone goes brrr.
Yeah, basically. That was the most fun thing for me on JP, because I started during the 4th anniversary. So that was the most fun thing for me, was just kind of being like, oh my god, they gave me so much shit that I can get all of these L weapons and then make them LL and then make them really cool.
I'm not advocating for LL. I fucking hate that shit. If you're asking for LL in global, actually just deactivate your account right now.
We're not ready for it right now.
Yeah, we're not ready for it, and it actually fucking sucks. You can't grind for any of those mats.
I do think we need L armor very soon, though.
We need no, not L armor, but just armor Arcana for sure. Not L armor.
Armor Arcana?
Yeah.
Yes,
this is literally the worst thing
it.
to grind. It's literally the worst thing to grind. I hate it. I'd actually like. I prefer dying than grinding for it. Sky's like, oh.
Oh no, here we go. But I guess to give a perspective, right? Because so I have right now. Okay, people know already. I have a whale account and then like a free to play account. But then, for the free to play account, the free to play was a minstrel, and so right now I guess like anyone who is kind of in a roadblock right now, I guess, is how I am improving as a minstrel, because right now, other than limit breaks that you guys have mentioned, now is if you're a rearguard, especially, you now try to play around your guild. So it's like so now I start to pull on banners that have tomes, that have M defense down, because my guild has a really strong magic attack. And so now I'm starting to flex my grids into getting something that will help my guild instead. So that's one way to kind of improve. It's not really like upwards. It's not like a vertical improvement. It's like a sideways improvement, because you're flexing to help your guild better. You're not gonna parse better, but you're gonna be more efficient for your guild because of that. And so that's kind of at least that's much I could say for minstrels and sorks, because they can start flexing now for different situations.
Yeah, I think I was about to say that too. Like, people kind of equate like, oh, I'm better at the game because my stats are higher or better. Like,
No.
no. Like, my cleric grid is like extremely like last minute like reworked and stuff because of like, oh, we need a cleric fast because we only have literally one cleric. Fuck, I don't do it. So like, my broken cleric grid right now, like it's not even perfect. Like I think like I started out as cleric in JP. That's why I was fine with switching to cleric because I already knew how to build and stuff. Like I do like 7 mil like without Shinma or whatever with like my shitty Shinma with my shitty cleric grid. That's like 210k or something right now, and that's like with all like 2 hits or whatever, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I like this is good because it's like, yeah, like I'm fucking healing the guild and stuff. But obviously, if I set my grid to the strongest or whatever, and have all my 1 hits or whatever, like I'm gonna be doing like way less heals because I'm not gonna have all my 2 hits, or like I'm not gonna have the certain nightmares and stuff on my grid that does certain things for my staff. Like we. Or not for kind of for
fun
like,
that's what we call it. That's what we call it too. We're like oh, like
get the hug,
when we swapped. Yeah, when we swapped him with Oogaloo, my sub GM just started saying, "Send Hot Man, summon Hot Man."
But yeah, I have to have all the
hot Oogaloo.
Yeah, hot Oogaloo.
We call him Flan because Ikemen's too hard to type, but like I didn't know his name was Flan. Like I always called him Ikemen, and when the game was like, "This is Flan," I'm like, "That's not Flan. Stop lying."
Yeah. Well, I think it's like Freyon or something in JP, right? So
I don't know the fuck. Yeah, I can't read that shit. Okay, does anyone have any more to add? I'm gonna start reading everyone else's like little comments from this.
We can start reading that.
Wait, I want what I was gonna say, like, do you think like as a free to play, like a new free to play, do you think that it's better for them to, let's say for example, have a set path of where they want to go?
No, it's a gacha game.
Or like just
you can't control. You can't control what you get. If you get what you get in a gacha game, like if you want to keep playing, like I think my general advice for SINoALICE, like when it started, was I made like a huge Twitter thread about how you should summon in SINoALICE Global, but like I think you should just pull until you get a class. Whatever class you get, that's obviously not who you're gonna main as. But I think later on, as the game continues going on, you're still gonna keep that mixed grid, and until you get that specialized weapon that keeps showing up, because I don't know, the game fucking hates you. You go for that. Like
flashback to 2 weeks ago when we started. When we started Not Royal.
10-hour stream.
Yeah, when we started Not Royal, and JJ sat in the server pulling for 3 hours, and then JayTen and I sat in the server for 2 more hours pulling and speed running who would get Cindy Breaker and Shameless Ambition at the same pull. And I won, and JayTen gave up and got Gretel Minstrel.
Like I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's fucking impossible to get what you want in the beginning, but it is definitely just like you get what you get, and then when you continue on going with the game with your shitty civic square, because everyone everyone starts with that, like you start getting that one weapon you always see, and then you're like, okay, might as well go for this. Like I was originally cleric, then I went to gunner in JP because like I love guns, and then I went to crusher, and that was like my whole main thing. I was a P attack DPS, and then I just recently made a full-on polearm grid because they started giving love to pole arms in JP. Like they just started like, oh, a big sticky, woohoo, and then
big funny stick, yeah,
big funny stick. Go hits 3 people no matter what, and I'm like, fuck. I guess I gotta be fucking pole arms. So now I'm like,
me just hoarding everything that's 1 to 3. I have an alt in JP that's just straight up half nightmare cleric, and I'm actually discovering that it's pretty fun to heal if you're strong enough and you can just be like, haha, funny, press button. It's actually really fun, but considering I have to dual wield a vanguard and a cleric, it becomes more of a panic episode.
Do you think like your resources are more spread out if you start like going one route and then going another route though?
No, I think
really.
I think you're gonna be spending no matter what, because they are elemental based, not weapon based. So
yeah,
if you're it's gonna, like, you have to be kind of smart, because it's like if you keep obviously like leveling up your wind weapons, you're gonna run out of wind like fodder or materials. So like I think that's why early SINoALICE Global I was pretty fine. Like that's why I was like 100k within the week. It's because like I knew where my elemental resources would go. I knew we were gonna have a bunch of like wind weapons early on, so I literally grinded wind mats. And then I was like, okay, next okay, and then I got water mats through like Nier and stuff like that. So it was just kind of like easy for me to kind of tell. But like yeah, it's all based on like whatever element you get. And I think at this point on, if you start SINoALICE now as a free to play, there's a lot of like weapon diversity in the elements. So like I don't think it really matters mat wise. I think mat wise you have to be careful about obviously the shackles and the stupid fucking bird mask and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, like
I have
like
right now I have 119 bird masks, and I'm always running out of crowns, and it is the worst experience of my
yeah.
Like, I'm not going to have to use them until we get L armor. It's just
okay. Let's read
how it goes.
Let's read the comments and then get to our final part. Woo! So Spoot said, so on the free-to-play pay-to-win, gacha games and most competitive games are built around people who spend money and have strong opinions. No one is more important than the others, but waiting gacha games will always go to whales, which is, like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, they spend money, they make the game go online. Like, I'm not arguing against that. I still think, like, obviously the support should also go to free-to-plays as well, kind of thing.
I think it's more that like you can convert some of the free to play to be to dip in a little bit, give them a really good deal, like a really
give them a little good deal.
Yeah,
do the Italian money gesture.
For example, like Grand Blue Fantasy has this something called surprise tickets, where you basically can choose what you want. They're required to pay. It's like a single tempo, like 10 or $20, $25, $30, but it allows you to pick the SRs. This is not like they're using some sort of some sort of physical production where they cost money. It's all digital goods, so it's like, right? Like why don't you just like let the player be happy?
I've seen that a lot in the feedback channel. It's like you could print money with this. Like you can generate all of the currency. Like there's no reason to give crumbs.
Koa in JP, but I think it got introduced in second anniversary, and I hope they do it soon in global, because we are getting a high count of jobs getting released. Is 110 if you use 300 crystals, and it can be free to play crystals. Like it doesn't have to be paid crystals. You can buy yourself a job plus the materials. Like I bought all the mermaid classes through that because they had like mermaid jobs available. They had like Paladin and Mermaid for 300 crystals. They had like the Cleric Dorothy for 300 crystals. Like I think that those would be like good option for free to play.
Yeah.
Like you don't need a gacha. You can just spend the 300, get the job you want, and whatever materials it is to evolve their weapon to L, whatever.
And there's a quality of life for banners too that we don't have, which is after a certain amount of pulls, you can choose what you get, and if you choose the class, you also get the weapon.
Hang on, that's different though. That's different. Those are for the unsparkable ones. That's
no, that's not true. They did it for like fucking international. They did it for.
Okay, international is just like actually just like international sucks in JP though. It's not guaranteed SS.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. If it's not guaranteed and then you pull a certain amount of time and still don't get it, you can just spark it.
Technically spark and then spark another, because like it is like until you get that 1500 medals.
And then like if you spark with medals, like if you get the class, you don't get the weapon.
Yeah.
So I would rather pull until I can get the class and the weapon.
That's why you're so important, JP.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Diane says, they're both important. You need to find a way to balance how much attention each group gets. If you only pay attention to whales, people who are free to play will eventually get sick, which is what we were talking about. I think what's another J name I could say? Joshua.
Drake and Josh.
Joshua said, both are definitely important. Without paid players, the game wouldn't be able to keep its servers running. Without free to play, the game would just be the one top for 1% and slowly dissolve until the competition runs dry. Which is, I think, Chiaki was I burped again. Chiaki was saying that their time slot, the reason why they moved time slots or something for GC is because their top 1% is always defending the same top 1%.
Yeah.
Dylan says, both are important to the game overall, but when it comes down to it, it depends on the structure of the game. Center rewards pay-to-win players and call it for sure, while free-to-play players can have either the worst time of their lives or have great times. I think having the diversity of either having a terrible time in Colo and having great time is what makes it fun as a free-to-play, though.
Yeah. It's definitely like one thing I've noticed, even just having Not Royal around for like 2 weeks, is that it's fun. It's reminded me that this game can be fun.
You are also saying in fucking Jacob's stream. I said Jacob like 5 times. I need a better like J name.
Need a better name.
I need fucking Joe's stream the other day where we like were so close to a tie or we won that other game. You're making me want to fucking join your guild even though I'm a G.
yeah, because you have like so much fun, and I'm so used to our matches being so stressful, especially because the last few months, like we've been really trying to be comp, and like when you're competitive, you need to be a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And we just haven't been that, especially recently.
Yeah.
I don't want to like call out my guilds on their bullshit, but they're all pretty aware of it, like what problems that we have and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to get people to listen, and then like if we need to replace people, global is in a place where everybody looking for guilds wants a top 100, a top 50, etc., and there's only so many top 50s to go around, bro. Like if people want people who are already at the top and competitive and don't want to help guilds become that.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of stress. It's a big cycle of getting stress because we want to be comp, and then there's people who don't really hold up to the expectations that we have, and then they leave and we want to replace them, and then we can't because people want the guilds that are already there.
Yeah, like I think we talked about this live podcast where people can't always expect being in like top 200 all the time, because it's kind of like you need to grow to that point where you're able to be top 200 instead of like being a 150k like cleric and saying I do 2 million heals, find someone better, and it's like me literally in the span of 2 weeks,
me bitch, yeah
me in the span of 2 weeks building my shitty cleric grid.
let me take my sticks out of my storage.
Yeah, you know where I keep my. I won't make a sex joke.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's go to the next topic, guys.
Wait. You skip
Should
Nekos.
I?
Hold on.
Should I skip Mega? Fucking read it then. You have it open.
Neko said you need both for a healthy game ecosystem. They're both important. Paid players will dictate how the game grows, but smaller players or free players make up majority of the community. Without the community, a strong social game like SINoALICE wouldn't survive.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, or like in that poll, it was like 70% plus were like under $10 per month, and I think majority of that was even like $0 per month, and that was me. I put in like the little comments, a con mobos, but it's the $10 for me. Wink. she probably fucking read that and like immediately blocked me from Discord or something.
Banned from SINoALICE Discord.
This is like the 5th, like fucking 100th time people said that joke about me, and I'm still in here. I find it fucking amazing where I can go into like the actual staff and say, "Hey, can you? Hey, PogChamp, am I right, guys? What's up, boys?
What's up, royal sluts?
Exactly. What's up, pussies? Look at my ass. Look at my plum juicy ass. Can you give me free crystals?
Yo, check out this Alice Coochie. It just like touching on what Neko said about it being like a social game. It's Izzy, you could probably touch on this more than I could because I only recently started. But listen, you can let me finish it before you're like, what the fuck? Because I've only been on JP for like since 4th anniversary, and you've been there since launch. Is that I find already that people on JP are just a lot nicer. They're just nicer.
They're fucking way nice. This is why, this is my main whole gripe with the whole, like, I understand why people have their combo sets set as main, because sometimes they're not in immediately, or sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, that's my main, I'm just combo for the whole game. But like in JP, you would never see that. Like you just see someone going in as their strongest set, even if it was mixed or not. Like you just see someone in with their whatever their fucking strongest set was. Like I think my fucking the person I just talked about who was the DPS who fucking shot up to 580k, their main set is a mixed set that just shows off their entire thing, like shows off their entire P attack, M attack, everything. But then you go into fucking global and you just see like you see I think you said this was the other day where you see like 10 people on combo and then like they switch and then they're like a million points higher than you.
Yes,
like,
that's what happened the other day, and this is and this was during Grand too, because this week was Grand. Like we fought a guild who had literally half of them. There were 7 people hidden by combo. 7 people. And in global, we don't have enough combo weapons to warrant like having
your combo set as like your full set. Like I can understand in JP because my fucking I think I sent this in the other chat where my full on combo grid in JP is like 400 something K, and it's like that's only to withstand like what division we're in like Grand Coliseum, like if I were to set it as main, but I don't, because like I just kind of like showing my actual set just so it's like I in my point of view, I want it to be also fun for the other guild to like fight, like plan for our like fight. Like they see my mixed grid and they can see like, oh, I have mainly like P attack, so they can guess I assume I'm a fucking P attack main, and then like and then when you look at someone's combo like grid, it's like all defense, and you're like, oh, this guy's like dude or whatever.
Yeah, we're still working our way up in JP, but I still haven't even seen a single combo set yet.
Yeah,
even in Gran, I still haven't seen it. But if you go in Gran in global, that's everyone. It's everyone now. Like you can't like people feel like they can't win a single thing without hiding half of their points under combo. And then you find out after the match that they were 500,000 CP ahead of you, like, and that it was an unwinnable match. And that's like the worst feeling, is that like it wouldn't have been a fair match in the first place is just kind of insane.
I had a match similar to that where there was a member in their guild. It was one of my GC matches where what their strongest member, like I looked at their strongest member. I looked through literally for all their vanguards usually on the members list because I plan ahead. And so one of them was at the very bottom. I looked at it and I'm just like, they're level 215 and they're at the very bottom. I'm just gonna click on their stat. 49k magic attack, but they're on combo. So I'm like, this is their strongest member, but I cannot see what their main grid is. So I'll just assume you're the strongest and I'm just gonna target you. And so match starts midway through match, they swap over and I'm like, okay, let's see what their grid looks like. Because they had like 45k HP. So when you have 65k HP, I think. Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
45k is that's like level 100 something.
Yeah.
Sorry. So they had a high amount of HP, and so I clicked on it. I'm like, okay, what's their stat now? They had 85k magic attack, and I'm
No,
just like,
that's my fucking that was our fucking fight yesterday. Where we're like, yeah, they're all combo, they're gonna be like a fucking 1,000,000 M attack. Like, and then like they were, and we're like, we still somehow like close to tied with them because I'm OPS cleric, haha wink, but no, for real, like it was actually fucking insane how much damage they did, even with like 20 defenses.
Right.
But yeah, like that's the whole reasoning of me like not setting my combo as main, even though it is always something I do. Like I go combo switch to combo first. It's just like I want it to be fun for the other players to match around us. Like this is what we are outside of the combo. And also, to be fair, like combo is not like a viable thing even in JP right now. Like people go combo still, yeah, but at this point it kind of like raw power just fucking annihilates all. Like we fought a guild that had like 4 hit attack hammers and we just fucking died. And we fucking sad, we got cried.
You can sometimes tell like how like if a player is really strong based on like their just base stats, even if they're on combo.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's really just like any of the base stat. It's like raw stats based on all the classes they have. The stronger they are on combo, the stronger they'll be once they swap over.
Exactly. Okay, let's go to the next topic, guys. Woo! Which is the title of the YouTube. This is like I feel like a clickbaiter or something by accident. I fucking clickbaited by accident. We're all guild masters here, right? Ex guild masters.
Yes.
Or was.
Yeah, was. We are currently. We're guild masters. Woo! So how do you feel about being guild masters, guys?
Ooh.
I guess we could go for Sky first again because Sky like retired being a guild master.
A retired guild leader.
I am too, but I already touched on it a little bit, so I'll wait for Sky.
Yeah. So well, to put it into background, I've probably been leading guilds for more than a decade now. Like,
what games? What games?
Different MMOs, different MMORPGs and mobile games. Too many to list. Let's just go with that. But you know, and you know the funny thing is I've never like initiated that I'm the guild leader. I always just ended up getting delegated as the guild leader because on any game that I play on, it's like I'm really involved, and so the people notice it, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, you're an officer now. I'm like, no, I don't want to be on, but you know, they just give it to me. It's like and then you know the guild master quits. I'm like, all right, I'm taking over. I'm like, because no one else wants to do it, and I'm like, there's always that, you know, Mexican standoff, like who's gonna get it. I'm like, dude, you know,
tumbleweed in the foreground.
I always end up getting delegated to it, and it wasn't like, and it just kind of ended up like on the later years, I ended up just like, all right, you know, because we ended up making a community around it, and now like we have
You're
a guild
the guy
that we have the guild. It's like, hey, a new game coming out, are we making a guild for it? I'm like, okay, let's see the interest. And like, all right, there's enough people. All right, fine, we'll make one.
I'm assuming you're the guild master of your Princess Connect wood.
No, I am not.
Oh, actually, wow! Fucking Miyako, I got here.
Funny thing is, so
I uninstalled that fucking game. If you want to talk about pay to win.
If people don't know, I am in the #1 guild in Princess Connect right now.
Whoa.
It's called Sky.
Look at this fucking guy.
It's
How much
called
do you
Sky,
spend?
but it's not my guild, because funny thing is I joined them during like, you know, the soft the soft launch, and
Yeah, the
then
soft launch. Yeah.
yeah, and
Mhm.
then they just ended up like I joined with my names just Sky, and they're like, huh, we should change our guild name to Sky.
You're
And
so
then
powerful. They were like, "Oh, he came in. We gotta change his name."
because yeah, it was something else, and then we joined, and then we ended up renaming it. But on the most recent clan battle, which is similar to Grand Colo and
Oh yeah, the
um
clan battles. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
the recent clan battle, but it's purely PvE. But you try to race against other guilds in terms of
Yeah,
points.
you try to
Yeah.
beat the lineup
Yeah,
of bosses before
and
others,
yeah,
and try to
we
get the highest like
mhm.
scores when beating them. Sorry, I'm just trying
for
to explain it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. For the previous ones, we've been always like number two or number three, but then the most recent one, we got number one. So it was, yeah, but anyways, yeah, for that, I'm just a member there. Early on because I was really involved, the guild master offered me officer. I'm like, no, I want to be a member. You want a
I don't want
performing
the
member?
responsibility.
You want a performing member? Don't give me any responsibility. I will perform, and I did. Like whenever it was clan battle, I always was like one of the top performers in the guild. So it's like, hey, it works out.
That's pretty
Mhm.
cool. So you hate
But
being
yeah,
guildmaster. That was your TLDR.
I after so many years of guildmaster, by default, I would prefer being a member instead. Because
Mm.
I find being like I perform the best that way. If you want a performing member, don't give me any other guild responsibilities, and I will perform how you want me to do. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but yeah,
What
that's
about you?
go ahead. Sorry,
Oh,
what was
sorry.
the
No,
question?
I was gonna segue. Keep going, Scott.
Yeah, so guild leadership. That's a very generic topic. Is there anything that we could talk about there?
Like, just how you feel about being a guild master in general. Like, if there's anything
Yes,
you want to say
definitely.
to like
Actually,
anyone who wants to start a guild in like any game, I guess,
yes,
even in solo.
definitely. I actually
What's
Yeah, so especially for guild leading,
Mhm.
you whenever you're recruiting, I think the most important thing is the recruitment.
Yeah,
Is you need
yeah.
to iron out how you want to shape your guild from the beginning, because for example, if you tried recruiting for a casual guild and then you suddenly like decide, oh yeah, we're gonna be semi-casual, and then oh yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna be semi-competitive. No, that's one way to just kill the guild because you have to be
not everyone joined for that
yeah, you have to be
setting.
upfront on the way you recruit things and how you want the rules around it.
Mhm.
It's like okay, 7 days inactivity. That's you're gonna be considered for kick. Like if we find people, right? Like those kind of
Mhm.
things. They need to be ironed out. Even if it's a casual guild, you need to iron out those rules and I guess responsibilities on that one. Because people are just when they join and then their expectation is different, they're just gonna leave, and then now you're gonna have to look for other people again.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much the most important thing, right? And if you need help, just say it. But as a guild leader, prepare to be the guild like maid. You're the one's gonna be cleaning up
Yeah.
a lot of people's mess.
Yeah.
You need to
All
mediate
of you have
between
shit
members.
guildmaster like
You need to babysit. You're like you're
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's babysitting. It's
um
babysitting.
you need to be prepared for that one. But I personally think if you laid out the rules from the ground up ahead of time from the recruitment, usually it's pretty like smooth. That's been my experience. Like, I've led different types of guilds, like from competitive to just casual, semi-casual, and
Mhm.
it, it has worked out that way until everyone's just ready to quit, because they got bored of the game. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
like that's not your fault. That's literally just like
that's
burnout.
just like that's just the nature of the game, and that's something to take in
Yeah.
mind. But yeah.
Mhm.
And what ends up happening is you just end up building a community, like, hey, we play
Mhm.
together. It's like, why don't we play together? And then you have other guilds, and then it's like, oh yeah, I have part of these people in my other guild from another game, and then this other people, let's make a super guild, and
Yeah.
on like a new game, and because like, oh yeah, I want all of these, but yeah, I think a lot of the thing has to be set on the expectations for the members, and then just being
Like
upfront
just
on,
yeah.
and you gotta be ready for dealing with everyone else shenanigans.
Okay, JJ, you just became guildmaster recently.
Yeah, I
Congrats.
became
Wow.
thank you. I became build master because I had
Spell it.
no.
Well, we can
That
just okay, go ahead.
sorry, I was just saying that I had so my members and I, a lot of my members of my current guild and I were part of another guild that we were there for almost a year. We realized that we were slowly like between myself, my other GM, the other sub GM, and the main GM, we were having I guess at some point we just ended up having like different views on like our play style, like whether or not we wanted, because a couple of us wanted to be more semi-competitive, going into more semi-competitive. The others more so wanted to just be more casual kind of thing. So we ended up, we realized that it was probably a time to split. And so at that time, not many of my guild mates knew that we were leaving. I just literally just dropped a message, just DM'd them and just letting them know, hey, just letting you know, four of us are going to be leaving the guild soon. Just letting you know so you're in the loop because there was no like other than in-game communication, we couldn't contact them anywhere else. And so what ended up happening is that they wanted to go with us too. And I think that really falls back to communication because, yes, recruitment's important. Sub GM and GM can definitely recruit. But it really falls down to who is really communicating between like the captains or GMs to the actual other members and keeping those other members in the loop of what's going on. Like, let's say, for example, if there's any strategies or anything like event wise, it's every event wise or conquest wise, or like, hey, it's just as simple as, hey, does anybody want to run some event versus right now? Or like, I think it would be a good idea if we implement this kind of thing, and just keeping people in the loop as opposed to like just leaving that to like, let's say, for example, a sub GM to do as opposed to like the guild master. um it's like people who the general members will, I feel, would definitely appreciate the people who actually reach out to them and just letting them know about what's going on. And so that's why like the members ended up moving with the four of us who chose to leave. And then so from the new guild we ended up recruiting some s- some I don't know.
Some kind of members.
Like some members who were part of a higher tier guild and knew what it was like to be competitive. And so as a new GM, I learned from them. I learned from like their strategy and kind of thing, so I can implement it back on our guild. It doesn't necessarily mean that's like a quick implementation. I don't know the word.
Implementation.
Implementation. It's not like a quick implementation. It's like I know what my guild is like, and I'll slowly implement those new strategies, and hopefully we'll just get better and better and better. Like last GC, my old guild was in the top 500s, and now in this GC with one or two members that will eventually leave, with their help, we ended up getting top 300. So
Were you using the Discord before on the previous guild?
in the
Or
previous guild, no, we were using Line.
oh no.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. Line chat.
I love Line though. I love Line though. Fucking
Line
look at all
and
this
Skype,
funny
or yeah.
Line.
I love their fucking stickers, but I think if you're
Their
forcing
stickers are
other players
good.
to do it,
Discord has
Their
stickers
stickers are
now.
great.
There's no reason
Discord
to use it.
stickers now though.
We slowly moved over to Discord now, which has definitely helped to keep track of conversations, and so this was in-game.
Yes.
Yeah, that I was about to say. Like, it's easier to track things on Discord than it is
Guild
online. Like Line,
organization.
Line is different because that's where I text my fucking brother at in Taiwan. Like, that's different. Like, I'm texting family.
Yeah, no matter how casual a guild is, having
Communication is always-
organization on so that people are able to communicate efficiently better is very, very important, because like why else would you use a guild, like, if you're not really like
why would
to
you be in a
people?
guild?
Yeah. That's honestly like the most important thing to me, not only in the guild but like in general, is just communication, because nothing is ever going to happen if you have bad communication with people.
Yeah. Now our question now is like, okay, we have to figure out, we have to get this like shovel technique down. What is a shovel?
A shovel.
Shovel?
Ooh,
Shovel. Hello, do you guys have shovels? Do you know what a shovel is?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the wait, did you, or was that an actual question?
No, we ended up figuring out what the
Okay.
shovel was.
It was rhetorical.
I was ready.
I was ready with shovel meta.
No, it's okay.
You know what a shovel is in real life?
JJ could explain it now, for the people uninformed.
No, we don't have anyone uninformed.
It's that orange glowing thing that looks like a giant shovel.
I'm the host. Stop talking about fucking SINoALICE meta. I hate that shit. Okay, go on, go talk about your GM experience. Talk about your GM experience.
Stop talking about the shovel.
Stop talking about stupid SINoALICE meta. I hate that shit. Just please.
I just don't want you guys to know the secrets, I guess.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah, that is true. Only the top 700s, because I'm in the 700s.
God.
No,
there's too many capital S secrets that end up being really fucking stupid. Like combo.
You gotta spell one T.
The Guildmaster experience is also kind of broad for me, honestly. I've been a GM since launch, and we've kind of evolved from being like, oh, it's casual. Like, I started it as just a way for my community to play, like as a streamer, like my community to play a game together. So it was already a lot of people that I knew, and then eventually, after a couple of months, we were kind of like, oh well, winning is pretty cool. It's pretty pog. So we decided to become more and more competitive. And none of us really whale, except for maybe one of my Vanguard, because he just has no impulse control. But so a lot of us like maybe Dolphin at the most, and like a lot of us are Royal users, if that counts. So we try to do our best with what we know from other guilds and from the Discord servers and from everything, and we kind of have a similar thing to what JJ was saying, where we have a member who is in a top 200 guild. So he would kind of report back to us with like, oh, this is what my guild is trying, this is what we're seeing like at the top, and we'll kind of try to incorporate like what he says in our stuff. Unfortunately, he's leaving soon, so I think we're gonna fall apart.
as long as like you
and Izzy's gonna snipe me for his guild.
Babe, come here, come to me, babe.
As long as you can like remember those strategies and like adapt it on your own, you should be fine even without the top member. Like that's my concern as well. But as long as we have learned from it, we know how to adapt it. Moving forward, we can adapt it by ourselves. We don't need it. Like we're thankful for the help. We are thankful for the knowledge, but at the same time,
you're learning. Yeah, it's and back on the communication thing too. The hardest thing for us is, and this is the reason why we've had to get rid of so many people in the past and like change them out, is because it's so hard to like lead people who don't listen. Is the most simple way that I could put it. Especially this Gran, we've seen that a lot, where me and my sub-GM will try to do our strategy calls and try to explain things to people, and people will just kind of be all over the place with summons or like not swapping or whatever. Like we've been doing this for so many months, like I feel they're mistakes that like shouldn't be made that often, but we've had so many like train wreck things that it's hard to be competitive when we're just like kind of stumbling all over ourselves. So that's kind of our biggest roadblock now. Is just like we can do our best as leaders and strategists and like
but it goes
know every trick in the book. Yeah, we can know every trick in the book and every way to play out a match like a chess grandmaster. But it's not going to do anything if people don't listen.
Yeah.
If people don't listen, or if people don't show up to matches, you could know everything and it won't fucking matter.
I think Jason, the first match he was shot calling for us, literally half the guild was AFK because we had like other things. And it was funny too because it was like that one specific day where because that's when I got my engagement photo shoots done. Like I was like, okay, me and the sub GM are gonna be out because we have obligations already, and we told like we were already setting this up where it's like because we're gonna be busy this like later half of these couple months because we're setting up for our wedding. So like we're like, okay, so you two can start shot calling now for practice. So we're like, so we have one of my sub GMs who's been with me since JP, Ryan. She's so fucking nice. I love her so much. So we let her shot call and then she did fine. Like it was, like you shot called, right? And then like when fucking Jacob like fucking shot called, no one was there because like everyone had obligations that day. Like one person was like, oh, I have overnight shift. Another person was like, I have my fucking French exam. And then Ren was like, oh, I'm off. I have to be somewhere medically. And then
medically.
And then one of my other members just can't be here because it was a family emergency, and she's had this family emergency for like a couple months now. We've been fine with her, like whatever. It's an emergency. She can't handle it. So she wasn't here, and then like another DPS wasn't here because on like Wednesdays or something she has karaoke nights or whatever. and then another DPS wasn't here because the French exam, and then another rear guard wasn't here because PokeLabel stole her account and she can't get logged in again. And then so we were down like literally like more than half our guild, and fucking Jason was just like standing there like, can someone summon us? Like
a few times like my sub GM likes to handle shot calls himself. But he kind of manages the rear guard and I take care of the vanguard. So I won't do summon shot calls generally. I'll just do like stall and kill kind of calls for the vanguard.
Those kind of shot calls.
Yeah, and I think I've only had to shot call for summons a couple times because my sub GM is really good about attendance. But the times that I have shot called by myself have usually been A, last minute, and B, really fucking clutch victories. I gotta say, I'm pretty sure I only did shot calls maybe 4 times, and like ever since he joined, I mean, because in the like at launch I was always doing shot calls.
Yeah.
But I can think of like on my hand I can count times where I have like they've been like ass clenchers, and I have been like on the ground after the match, like
your ass got sweaty, and then you have a little wet stain on your chair.
Stop imagining it, Izzy. What the fuck?
I slip it up sometimes.
Oh my god, babe. But it's always been that kind of thing where like at the last second, like I'm just like I'm so fucking glad that I called that last nightmare, because I would have like screamed if we didn't get that. It's
my strategy for shot calling is just yelling at everyone, which I think is
basically
funny.
I mean if my guild actually required VC, we would probably be screaming over each other a lot more. But generally it's just us. It's like a handful of us in the VC, and me and my sub GM being like, why the fuck aren't you paying attention? Please, I'm crying.
I'm pretty sure you've seen fucking Jill's live stream where whenever he joins our VCs, and it's just us like sitting in call, like you hear like one of our friends play Dark Souls 2 and then we laugh at him when he dies, and then another friend comes in playing Minecraft, and then like Daniel's our sub GM fucking playing Dark Souls at the same time as he's fucking healing us as cleric, and then and then me going like, I don't know, me going like, I don't know what to fucking summon.
You guys are casual though, so it's kind of fine. But like as a comp guild, we have like some people who will...
Look at this fucking tribal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll have the thing is we'll be in VC, and like there will be people who are in the match, and then they're also like sending memes on Discord or like posting in other servers or on Twitter or whatever, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, hello?
Where did they when they joined, was it a comp recruitment or no?
It was like it's people who have been here like forever.
Okay.
But especially like during Gran, I'm like, y'all have to like pay attention, please. I'm begging you. There have been people who like they're gone now, obviously from what I'm gonna say.
They
but there
fucking died.
People who are
you
like
fucking kill them.
yeah, people who are excused from life. They would be like, oh, I'm taking a nap at this exact time of Colo.
How do you do that? Like we've had friends. We've had one of my previous guildmates who's like now a good, really close friend of ours now in the in our Discord. Like she would just fucking pass out and have alarm set up for Colo, and if she missed, she missed. Like I didn't really fucking care because it's like, yeah, you know, you take a nap, you pass out, like, you know. But then when you specifically go like, I'm taking a nap specifically at 1 p.m. 5 minutes before our Colo time, so don't bother me. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Or we had a member who would always be like, oh, I'm at the gym, like this is my gym time. It's like you could literally go to the gym any fucking time other than this literal other than this
time of match,
like other than this literal 20 minutes of the day. You could nap any other time. You could go to the gym any other time. You could pick up your fucking groceries or your DoorDash at any other time. Like, come on, it's 20 minutes.
I can understand if it's like you pass out, you pass out. Like you say like an hour beforehand, like I'm taking a nap right now, but if I don't wake up, I don't wake up. Like, yeah, you know, I don't mind.
The only time I've ever done that was when I was bedridden with a fever, and I had a fever pass out with my phone open. Okay, I was ready to be in Colo, and I passed out. That's the only time I can count on one hand the times that I've missed since launch. I have been there every fucking day.
Me too. In JP.
And it's like I have done this while working. I've done this while streaming. I literally just had a match a half an hour ago while we were doing the podcast.
No, you didn't. What are you talking about, you loser?
No, I did.
We don't have a podcast. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. What the fuck are we doing? Yeah.
I'm just sitting here.
We're just sitting here. We're drinking, having a powwow. No, like I've done it no matter what. I've done it like during family gatherings, during dates. Like I can do it wherever, because it's 20 minutes and it's on your phone, and you're gonna be on your fucking phone anyway, you fucking zoomers. Like it's just it's not hard. It's really not hard. If you have this commitment to do this daily thing, and it's only 20 minutes, like it's really not hard to schedule things that can be scheduled around it.
JJ, you're saying something again.
What?
You were like saying something while Koa was going through her entire fucking rant about her guild in Netherworld.
I was just saying how one of my members actually exercised while she's in Colo.
Like, yeah, you can do like it's on your phone.
You can be at the gym and doing it.
You're like, that thing is too like last.
I've been at the gym and done it.
Like last year I worked. I was on transit, like going home because I had work like pretty late, and then like my JP call time was at the time where I was taking the transit, and it's literally just like me going on the bus and like literally putting SINoALICE on silent mode and then having like a YouTube video on the back, not a YouTube video playback, right? Who the fuck pays for YouTube Premium anyways? And having my fucking music player playing in the background, playing my fucking stupid anime music, and then like just silently tapping on the bus. Like, I'm not gonna be bothering anyone. Like, I don't know, like I understand why some people like say they're like, oh, I can't be on SINo because I'm on transit, because it's like, oh, you don't have data kind of thing. Like I used to be those people. Like I didn't have data, I can't play SINoALICE. But like it's like when you're specifically saying like, oh, I'm going to the gym specifically at this time because like I feel like it. It's like, okay, but you
like at least make a better excuse.
Yeah, you specifically joined the guild at this time for the 20 minutes. Like it's 10-20 minutes. You can literally like, if you're winning that hard, you could just leave that 10 minutes and then like
literally go on the exercise bike and play SINoALICE. It's the easiest thing in the fucking world. Then you get 20 minutes of cardio. It's win-win.
Yeah, that's the the thing too. You could like my friend before when he was in their guild, like he would be in family gatherings and stuff, and he'd be playing SINoALICE, and then you hear his parents in the background call for him for dinner, and he's like, "Mom, wait for me. I'll be done in 7 minutes and 23 seconds."
Yeah, it's so easy to be like even with my family, I'm like, hey, I do a thing daily and it's only 20 minutes. So like here's when it is. Like if we want to do something or whatever, I'm like, I'll be there, but like a little late because I have this thing for 20 minutes and that's all. And they're like, okay. It's really not that hard. It's like the easiest thing ever in the world. Please, I've never asked before.
I've had those situations before, and like what I just told my brother, because my brother is like, yo, I got a raid at this hour. It's like, all right, let's. My brother's a gamer too, so it's like, all right, let's do this real fast. Okay, you go do that errand. I'll do this errand, so you can make it on time. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like even though it's only 20 minutes, like I plan my fucking day around it, dog. Like I know that I'm gonna have to do it. It's a hard plan. Like like if we were casual, like I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. You can take your nap at exactly 4 o'clock when we start. It's fine. I don't fucking care. I'm not gonna shoot you. But it's like when you know
maybe I will.
Yeah, it's like unless it's just if you know that we're like hard comp and you've made the commitment to being hard comp, then you should show up. You should nut up or shut up. And like, if you can't, we've been very transparent about like, hey, if you can't make this commitment, just let us know. It's fine. We will not like we will not have an eternal vendetta against you if you just can't make the commitment to comp and just need to step down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Because at the end of the day, it is a game, but it's just like if you're gonna make that commitment, you gotta follow through on the commitment.
You're inconveniencing 14 or possibly
14 other
right?
people, basically.
Other people, right? And that is kind of I guess in my other games also I've had that where you have these underperforming people and constantly underperforming people.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and
it's a nicer word than incompetent.
That's when you just gotta. That's when, as a guild leader, you gotta step in and be like, "Hey, let's chat. Hey,
come over here behind the school. Come over here."
And that's the thing too. Is that's your job.
My opener is always like, "Hey, is everything all right? You haven't been on in a while, lately or a lot. If you have a problem, let me know." Softly let it, but
because you're not gonna be like, yo, why the fuck you ain't in the game? Like, come on.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, because you just got to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Like maybe there is something, so you gotta figure out first what's happening, and and that also comes into the communication, and as a guild master, really honestly, that's kind of what you end up doing. But there were some situations where the guild master is not able to, and maybe like this member doesn't like vibe with you as much as another member, and then that's when you talk to the other member, see what's happening on them, things like that. But yeah, that's a lot of things, and then also I guess it also comes down to the recruitment part, right? Like it's like the expectation of people, because for example, the weird thing is I just never really had a lot of that issue as much, because on my free to play, for example, I joined a semi competitive, and like on the recruitment it's like be on VC or and do not auto. That was kind of their recruitment, and
but that's
to
more
me, that
competitive
kind of,
though. Yeah.
that kind of, well, so it was more just like just be on VC, don't auto, that's kind of thing. But but they allow it. The way they do it, they're very lax on it, right? Like they don't like it. If it's a competitive, the real competitive ones, they ask for your account to, and then someone pilots it. That's the real competitive ones. That's that's in the like top 10s, top 50s. You have people piloting for when they're gonna be off. But semi-competitive is like, oh, yeah, if you can't make it, that's auto, here, go for it. And I just never really, I just didn't have that kind of experience because the way they recruited was also, it's like, okay, they're similar people to me that they're people that will also attend whenever they can, and in situations like, actually I think one of our people is gonna leave eventually,
One of our
or after this
people.
GC. One of our guildmates, okay, is gonna leave this GC is because they just couldn't commit to that time anymore, right?
Yeah.
And it's that self
Oh, starting
accountability
soon.
that other people have. I guess it was nice that we managed to get someone who has that kind of self accountability. It's like, hey, I'm not really gonna make the time anymore to this, so I have to either quit or change time slot, things like
Yeah,
that.
just be honest about it. Like we're really sad about the person who's leaving because he was such an asset, but like he was very open and honest and being
Did
like,
he
"Hey, I
have
can't."
assets? Wink.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
communication
anyway,
does it does
he
get
was very
difficult.
honest about like I don't have the time like for this account anymore, especially grinding the events. Like I definitely can't log in and do all this shit.
Yeah.
Especially because his main guild is like very hard comp and very high up, so it takes a lot more of his time than the other ones do. So like it's better for him to just come out and be like, "Hey, I can only stay until like you find another member because like I can't do this," rather than start to just kind of drop off or ghost or not show or whatever, which is what we've had a lot of people do, and it's just been really disappointing because you're always counting on these people who have made this commitment.
Yeah.
And then if they just stop showing up, it's like, "Hey, what the hell is going on?"
Yeah. Okay, let's any last things before I start reading the thingies? I'm not talking about how I'm guildmaster because I think we can already tell what kind of guildmaster I am.
Oh, no, please expand for our viewers.
I literally do not care if you show up or not. Like obviously I prefer the heads up if you're absent. Most of the people who are absent, they already tell me, so it's fine. But because we were semi-comp before because we had a lot of my friends in who were more competitive and they prefer it that way. But because there are a lot of people who do auto and stuff like that, we switched to casual, so I was fine with that. I think like as most people seen from like streams I've done or like in general where like most of the people who join in are like ex guild members and like we're still friends and like that's the kind of like guildmaster I am where it's like the game's not really the first thing in my mind. It's just like fucking being friends with each other is like the first most important thing. Like I hate that whole competitive mindset. Like I just kind of play the game as is. Like even in my JP guild, I'm sub guild master, but me and my guild master like talk a lot about like certain members. Like, oh hey, this guy's not coming. Okay, I'll message him. Oh, the thing's coming up soon. Like we should prepare for that. Okay, we don't prepare for it. Fuck.
The thing is about us being competitive is like we're not that, oh, if you're not comp, get the fuck out. It's like since we've been together mostly since launch, like we are all friends at this point, which is why it's so painful. Like when somebody leaves, it's like, oh, well, we're gonna miss out on a friend that we're playing a game with.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, everyone can't do the same amount of like attention that we can.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on what Sky mentioned about like having to like check in with people. Is that another thing about being a GM is it kind of like ends up falling on your shoulders whenever there's like drama or issues or whatever like between two people. Like it's always gonna have to be you who has to step in and DM a person and like be like, hey, like this was a misunderstanding. It's just so exhausting. That's another part of like me saying like, oh, it's just been really fucking stressful lately is because I just keep having to do that.
Your JP guild recently.
Yeah, oh my god. It's just been a lot. Like between all of the guilds, like Not Royal is my place of respite. I can go there and be like, yo, we're gonna fucking play Justice like at the end of the 200 SP Mao. Just fucking do it.
Okay, let's start reading the comments. Woo!
Woo!
Okay, so Spoot says, as a GM, you shouldn't be a dick. You shouldn't poach people, which I think is the 100% thing you shouldn't be doing as a guild master for sure. Because, like, I think if you're a guild master and you're poaching people actively, it just makes your guild look like you're a shit. Like you're a guild. Like the thing is, when you're a guild master, you're kind of like the poster boy for the guild as well. So like, you have to be the advertisement and also advertise for a guild, and also deal with toxic behavior fast, which makes sense. And Diane's was leading a guild isn't always easy. I work as a submaster for my guild, and I see how much effort it takes for my friend to lead the group. Communication is super important. Make sure everyone is on the same page, and best to clear up any misunderstandings. Also inform your GMs you can't make it.
Yeah, please, that is the most important thing.
God, please.
It fucks with our entire fucking plan or strategy if we're missing somebody who has an important summon.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Or even just like you're an important part of it. Like, cause I was talking about this recently with in the recent GCs. We had one of our main minstrels like be gone because Pokelabo just fucking wouldn't give her account back by the time GC started. Man. So like we lost one of our major minstrels, and that fucking sucked. But we knew why. Like, you know, obviously, like we fucking missed her, and we also it's mainly just her. Like, we have a DPS who's been AFK because of the family emergency, but I think most guilds can run with 3 DPS if you really need to.
The missing part one, I'm my guild is like a semi-casual, so it's like the thing is some people just doesn't show up randomly, and then it actually we somehow just manages to just work around it because we like set up like backups. It's like, all right, you know, if someone's not here, we can summon this, or someone else has it. So we kind of had to I had to work around with it because of that way, because the way our guild is semi-casual, so it's like, you know, just come in whenever. Really appreciate it. For the most part, I've been kind of lucky that majority have been going there, and then but it just ends up being lucky, I guess. Sometimes you just have to be lucky with the people that you get.
George with a J said this. Running a guild will always have its challenges. Depending on who joins and willing to cooperate and contribute, it can range from more bearable completely to torturous. I've had my fair share of unfavorable moments with guild members. Some awkward moments trying to address problems. Pretty much a foster home for people who are stuck with who were stuck in guild corpses, being in one myself. I totally understand frustration and the feeling of being stagnant in SINoALICE, hence why I made my first guild in the first place. One thing I would tell any guild member is to always tell your guild staff if you can't make it or not. Yeah, that's literally the most important thing, is just literally the attendance of like letting people know whether you're here or not.
Yeah.
Here's Neko's. Oh fuck, my keyboard fell. Okay. Hello. I'm okay.
Emergency. Are you okay, keyboard?
Are you okay, keyboard?
The T was too hard.
That's the important thing. The keyboard.
I'm fucking breaking my keyboard. Okay. Anyways. Oh, no. Now that everyone's starting to return to their normal lives, this is causing guilds to disband or implode. On top of that, the game is becoming more and more demanding of a lot of free-to-play low spenders because they can't keep up with the game and just quit. Guild carcasses are merging, and homeless members are trying to reassemble it into a new team. As guild leader previously, I failed and let toxic behavior destroy the entire guild. Too many new members had different opinions on how to run guild strategy, and too many old members were burnt out, resulting in complete meltdown. Over time, we all had too many different expectations of what the guild is trying to be. What the guild is trying to be, competitive or casual. Take the time to reevaluate when you get new members and make sure everyone is on the same page. Yeah, that's also an important part. Just making sure everyone's just like, they know what the expectations are to be in the guild when they join.
That's very important.
And then Dylan said, I'm sub leader, but the way the guild functions, my guild master and guild leaders share responsibilities. We all work together and bounce ideas off one another. When it comes to big choices and such, obviously the final say is the guild master, but for the most part, 3 of us share power evenly. Being said, the position is rather tiring sometimes. As the heads of the guild, you need a certain level of enthusiasm and positivity you have to bring. you're the main support unit. The way he looks at it, your guild is responding to how you're feeling. If you're not showing motivation or optimization, your guild will reciprocate that. You have to constantly be the one who's holding everyone's heads high, remain that way. It can be exhausting at times, but I guess that's the role of the leader. It's never easy, but it is also a good feeling when things work out in the end, which is
agreed.
My whole spiel of saying that you're the advertisement, even within your own guild, is that you have to advertise for yourself and for like outside of the guild. Like I'm kind of already the fucking goofy person I already am, so like I think you already know what kind of guild you're going into when you talk to me. Like
you gotta be the poster boy, and like exactly. I've had some rows with my sub masters early on, where I would just be like, if we would get killed several times in a row, I would send like the Kaguya angry laughing kind of sticker, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And at one point my submasters were like, you can't be sarcastic like that. Like what? Like that you got to be positive. I'm like, no. I was like, I don't care if I'm the guild master. I don't care if I'm the guild master. Like, I still have the right to be like salty if people fuck up.
we have a whole bit in my guild where like if one thing goes wrong, even if it's like a really minor thing that really shouldn't even be like a bother, we just say we're leaving the guild. And then when something goes right, we're like, we're joining the guild.
rejoining.
like even the people who have left the guild would still say, I'm leaving the guild. Like it's still like, constantly. But like I think that's the thing with like being a guild master, that you know what jokes you can make and stuff like that. Me saying that I'm leaving the guild, like obviously I can't be leaving the guild, I'm the fucking guild master, but the fact that everyone can take it is just funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all the topic. Woo! Yes. Yeah, let's suck it up. So guys, okay, we have to say our closing remarks, but I didn't think this far ahead. I honestly thought my internet would cut out like halfway and we just ended.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I honestly didn't expect this to succeed.
We got 69 playbacks, by the way. I'm just saying.
Nice. Pog.
Okay. Everyone say who you are and say your goodbyes. Let's go with Sky first.
Hey guys, I'm
No, you're supposed to say bye.
Well, you know what?
Bye, guys.
Hey, you know, bye guys. SkyJLV here. Usually you can keep up with me at twitch.tv/SkyJLV. That's really my main hub. I play Genshin. Oh geez. Oh wait, what? Huh? Different MMO, RPGs, and mobile games. I touch like majority of the weeb games, so you guys are good. And anyways, but that's gonna be it for me. You don't need my creator code. You can get other ones.
It's already in the description. J put them all in last night because I didn't feel like putting it in. Okay, JJ, your turn.
Thank you everybody for coming. Remember, wait, yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. Hi. If you ever want to like watch any of my content, I stream usually over on Twitch at JJYMayo. I generally stream. Well, now I'm more streaming more Genshin.
SINoALICE. Oh god, you take these two up playing Genshin.
Oh my god.
Or Genshin gamers here. Excuse me.
Yeah,
gamer impact.
A variety of other things, and Shadowverse, primarily Shadowverse, SINoALICE or Genshin. But yeah, you can find me over there. Yeah, sorry for showing up late. Thank you for sticking around for the whole
okay, now cool.
2 hours. So yeah, it's been fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you for listening. It was a lot of fun. You can find me over at twitch.tv/koakuma_ch. I haven't been streaming a lot because I've been busy, have some health issues, but I usually stream a lot of like a variety of games, usually just stuff that I like. Don't really give a shit. Sometimes I stream art. Because I'm also a full-time artist, so you can find me on Twitter at artifactsdemon for my art account, or at Hellion Koakuma for my funny little demon girl streaming account. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed our screaming and ranting, and join us next time for the next episode.
Yeah, join us next time. Where I'm probably not gonna be the host. I'm probably not gonna be here. I'm probably gonna be like coming or something.
What?
Let's see. C word that I got banned off of.
You had to insert it.
What?
Sorry, guys, can't make it. I'm busting a fat one.
Yeah, I can't make it to call. I made plans to bust a huge nut during that time. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting slammed. Can't make it.
That's gonna be me when I get married.
Same.
Well, I'm Izzy. I was the host this time, I guess. I wouldn't even call myself a host. What the fuck? We're just posting this on my YouTube channel because fucking J Dash didn't want me to say comment and semen on his channel.
We will eventually. We'll get you someday, JayTen.
I'll say it again when he streams Call or something next time. Anyways, thanks for showing up, you three. You guys are cool. Okay, don't answer back. Fuck you, dude. Okay,
I didn't know you were gonna say more than that. Thanks, we are cool.
You are. Well, I wasn't gonna say. Okay, bye, I guess.
Wow.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
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 This stream's over.
Oh, we got nothing else. Bye.